Thank you, Bob. Good morning, and thanks to the new Mississippi Business Alliance for allowing me to have a few minutes this morning. You know, Andy Gibson's such a great guy. He's already teed up what I'm going to talk about, and that's chicken houses. One legislator called poultry houses chicken coops. That's going to be in this talk, so you just listen carefully. Mississippi, and I see John Harrison, the president of MEC right now, will tell you this: if business cannot finance a project if they don't have insurance. If you don't have insurance, you don't have an economy. Last year, I started off talking about hurricane season and how blessed our state was that we hadn't had any big name storms. And we've been blessed once again, and I thank God for that. And in that context, remember what happened in Jamaica. Remember them in your thoughts and prayers. For 2 decades, I've advocated for mitigation programs to strengthen Mississippi homes and make them more resilient from catastrophes like we just saw on television last night in Jamaica. During Hobnob, I have talked about mitigation, and Super Talk asked me this morning, what is mitigation? Mitigation is really simple. It's just making a home stronger so they can withstand a catastrophic windstorm. Our proposal was to strengthen Mississippi homes that was funded by insurance fees and not taxpayer money. This program granted up to $10,000 to homeowners in the lower 3 counties, talking about the coast, to fortify their roofs so they have a home to come back to after a catastrophic event. Homeowners also had to put up money. The program reduces insurance rates anywhere from 15 to 40%. In Alabama, their experience has been 20 to 40% reduction in insurance rates when you mitigate homes. We've mitigated 28 homes this year. And on May the 25th, in the special session, some gaslighting members of the legislature decided they would kill the program by stopping our ability to spend the funds to mitigate homes. Imagine yourself in our position of telling 1,200 folks that are in line to be mitigated that we can't mitigate your home because of your legislature. Now we're the only state without a mitigation program. By the way, I had to ask my 15-year-old granddaughter what gaslighting was. So if you don't, how many of you in here even know what gaslighting is? It's blaming other people for your problems, you know, and making them feel guilty. So this small miracle, I say this because Jeff Pender's over there, but Mississippi Today wrote a half-decent article and talked about national and local press have reported that Mississippi lack of local resiliency, I'm talking about mitigation, comes down to political will and lack of leadership in the Capitol. According to the president of Smart Home Americas, Mississippi is a black hole. Why is it not catching up with proven mitigation programs? There should be no reason. It has the same risk as Louisiana, it has the same risk as Alabama. And what's the problem? The problem in Mississippi has been political will. When Mississippi gets hit with a significant wind event, the market will most likely collapse. This is from somebody that works in every state in the union. I will go back to the legislature again to ask for authority to continue the program statewide and to establish a poultry reinsurance mitigation program funded by the insurance industry. And that simply says poultry is the #1 economic crop in our state. We have basically one company that covers all of the poultry houses, and they cannot sustain the risk and cannot cover all of them unless they get some type of reinsurance program like we did for the Gulf Coast to bring down rates on wind and hail insurance. Like the rest of the country, we face inflation, supply chain problems, disruptions, rising rebuilding costs after disasters, and unpredictable court rulings. Our own state Supreme Court recently affirmed the minor USAA Katrina case. This action by the court will have long-lasting consequences for homeowners, insurance being affordable and available, especially in the lower 3 counties. Now, my staff told me not to bring USAA up, but it's important that you understand what's happening. We had a 4-4 decision by our court. I didn't file it because I was against plaintiff lawyers. I think plaintiff lawyers do a good job. I filed my amicus brief because you're going to wreck the insurance market in this state. USA quit writing wind after this court case was filed on the coast. They withdrew from writing any wind coverage on the Gulf Coast, and now 40% of the policies written in the wind pool are written on USAA paper. Now listen, I like USAA. I'm a veteran. The company I had writing my insurance for 20 years kept going up in rates, and I'm saying, heck, I'm the commissioner. Why is this happening? So I filled out my little form online for USAA. I have a house, a lake house, and 3 cars. I saved $9,900 in insurance premiums for 1 year just by shopping around. I'm telling you, shop your insurance. Shop your insurance. Okay, USAA is a good company. On the health care front, rates are going up. Access to health care, especially in rural areas, is a top concern. New federal laws and demand by health care providers for higher cost reimbursements are putting pressure on health insurance rates to increase. They will go up an average of 40.9% in January. Health care is complicated. If you've got Medicare, Medicaid, Medicare Advantage, you've got supplements, you've got everything you can think of out there, what are you going to do? It's pretty simple. It comes down to money. And that's what the ACA is about. It's about money. If we give the tax credits in Washington to keep ACA rates affordable, you know who's going to pay for it? The small people in the middle class. The wealthy people don't care. They can afford it. I don't know where America's headed, but we've got to redefine how we address health insurance and health care in this country. If not, we will not have health care in the state of Mississippi in some areas, especially the Delta. We'll have health care deserts. Our states will see draconian premium increases for over 40%. I'll just leave it at that. We'll probably have over 200,000 people added to the insurance population in 2026, and that's a minimum number. That's from Kaiser Family Foundation. And that's not good news, because the trickle-down effect is if you got 200,000 people that have no insurance, where are they going? They're going to uncompensated care at the emergency rooms. And the hospitals are going to have to pick up that cost. It's going to be, it's a rugged problem for us. I got some good news, though. We had a filing actually Monday of this week where over 700,000 insurance policyholders for automobiles will get a rate decrease of somewhere around 9%. We've got another 250,000 that followed them Tuesday. You know, word gets out fairly quick that your competition's lowering the rates. Maybe you need to do the same thing. So we've got almost 1 million folks that will see reductions of anywhere from 5 to 9% on the automobile insurance. This year has brought historic progress for fire service in the state of Mississippi. And thanks to some good legislators. And by the way, I don't agree totally with the article about the political will and the leadership in the Capitol. I think we've got good leadership in this state. We've got good leadership in the Capitol. It just comes down to a few gaslighting legislators that their fellow bands trusted that have hurt the programs on mitigation. So the rural fire truck program is in its 30th year. And to date, we've given out over 1,000 new fire trucks, and we have purchased them through the RIFTAF program. That's a rural fire truck program. And you want to know what the savings are so far for the consumers? Over $3.5 billion. We can quantify that. That's not some number we picked out of the air. It's something that's actual. The Fire Service Division also got a $500,000 grant to begin giving out smoke alarms January the 1st. And we'll use fire departments and your volunteer fire departments to install those free. And while they're there, we'll do the other part of our mission of educating folks about fire deaths, which we had 59 in the state so far, and half of those people did not have smoke alarms. So it's an opportunity for us to give away a smoke alarm that will have a 10-year life with a lithium battery, and to educate consumers about safety and fire. I can't see the clock down there, so I don't know how much time I got left. Okay, 12 seconds. I can't say this in 12 seconds. we'll try. So I know a lot of you are worried about, you don't want to tie up with the legislature. I'm a former legislator because I know what the mentality is. I get even with him. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about improving the state of Mississippi and taking care of our citizens and making sure that they get a fair deal on the insurance, especially if they live on the Gulf Coast. So challenges to regulate all types of insurance remain, but I'm optimistic about the future. Mississippi has great economic opportunity. Strong health care will make it even better. Resilient communities will help us to have an economic background where we can survive and probably move forward. I've had the honor and privilege of serving our state and citizens for over 30 years. I've traveled this beautiful state from the hills of North Mississippi to the coastal shores of the Gulf of America and all the flat land of the Delta, the rolling prairies, the red clay hills, and the pine woodlands. I love our state, and I look forward to continuing to serve the citizens of Mississippi. Now, if you don't know what I just said, I'm still running until I say I'm not running. If you don't get that, you better get it now. May God bless you, the great state of Mississippi, and these United States of America. Thank you for letting me be here today.